congratulations on the win. You can hear me, right?
I can hear you on a different computer, but yeah, we'll work it out.
Okay, all good. I'm sure if you go down the roster, you can point out guys who had some really good nights all throughout from top to bottom. You got some good play from Tucker Lepley making his MLS debut in there, Fagundes, Cerrillo, Nelson. You guys were able to rotate and still put in a pretty good performance. How do you look at this game and how you played, and how do you look at the week that you just had?
I mean, for this game, we knew the third game in a week in RSL at altitude was always going to be a challenge, just a physical challenge. Yes, we had to rotate some guys for varying reasons. The guys that stepped in and did what they needed to do. Tucker did the job on the defensive side. He did the work that he needed to do to help us in possession, just keep us solid. He helped keep us solid for the 45 minutes that he was out there, and that shortened the game for Mark to come in and then help us for the next 45. And other guys just continued to step up. It's been a big week for the group. It's just it's the first time I know it's been out there. The first time we've won 3 in a row since I've been here. So that was something we wanted to accomplish this week. Actually moving up the table, and now we're tied for first in the West. Something we wanted to accomplish this week. So just really proud of these guys, because this is not an easy place to come, and they gritted it out and did the job and did the work they had to do.
And looking at Gabriel Patton getting the goal when he did, and just the performances that he's had maybe over this week or maybe over the last month, sort of building into a really solid player. Now 13 goal contributions for him on the season. I know you've talked about him having a higher ceiling. Are we starting to see him getting more comfortable? Is this everybody getting comfortable around him? Where do you see him at right now?
I think it's a little bit of all of the above. I think, finding ways for him to get involved was one of the first things we were trying to do with him when he first got here. He was just, at times when he first got here, he was just hanging out wide, just kind of waiting for the game to come to him. We're working with him to when to find inside interior positions, maybe to get on the ball a little bit more. Obviously, times when he can get on it wide, he already is there. We've used him on the right and left, just looking at getting different looks and giving different looks to the opposition as well. So one of the keys is I think he's just really been involved, and the more touches we get, then the better it is for him. The more he's happy, with these guys who want to touch the ball. And I think just his developing relationship with the guys on either side is starting to come around as well. So. We know the quality he has, his ability to, on the right side, to get in on his left foot, and he's had a couple finishes in the last few games on that. And when he's on the left, he gets to the end line and he creates problems, setting up goals, which he did earlier in the week. And so, again, I think it's just he's finding his ways in this league and in this team and we're finding ways to continue to get him on the ball in good positions. The guy's a tireless worker. I mean, he's a horse. It's like, I think he's played, 50 games in each of the last 3 seasons. So coming here and playing, the games that we have in the busy schedule moments, for him, it's nothing. He just lines up there and he goes and goes and goes. So it's nice to have a player with that kind of durability that can just perform and compete day in and day out. Something he's just grown up to and is accustomed to. So it's been great. It helps us and it helps him.
Let's go next to Charlie Boehm.
Hey, great. Congrats on the result. I wanted to ask about kind of the control. I mean, this is a really good team that you just kind of muzzled, and it seems like you've been able to do that the last couple of games, whereas before things were kind of maybe felt more run and gun. I'm just wondering what you think has gone into that.
Yeah, something that we really stressed over the course of our right when we hit the mid-season, we happen to have like a 2-week break, right? And one of the things we really stressed inside of that is some of our defensive work, our positioning, our connectedness, making things a little clearer and more predictable for each other. I think we were really good in the last couple of games. I think today we had to suffer a little bit at times, but we still did the job of making the game as predictable as possible and helping each other out and doing the work that we needed to do. I don't think it was always as crystal clear as we wanted it to be, but I think we, guys did what they needed to do, and we stayed compact and we read plays and we helped each other out. So I thought it was really good. And today, again, what people probably don't really understand when you play at altitude and you're already a little fatigued, the brain and the feet don't necessarily talk to each other very well, and so I felt like some of our decisions over the course of the games were a little bit of a lack of oxygen in the brain, and we could have maybe held possession, because the goal we scored was actually off of a little bit of a string of possession where they had to work defensively. We separated them, and then the opportunity really showed itself, and then we buried it. Whereas there were times throughout the game where I felt we rushed things a little bit, or we kind of played down one side, and we weren't as patient and forcing them to have to defend. It was their third game in this week, and having been on the road for the first two, they were going to fatigue as well. So, I thought in the second half we did a little better job in stretches of finding some of those possession moments and being able to control the game that way and not just defensively. But we definitely put in the defensive work tonight and helped to get another shutout. That's 2 in a row. That's not something we've done in probably a long time. So that's a big thing for our group as well. If we defend well, we're going to be really, really difficult to beat.
Are there any wrinkles to when Reed comes back, to plugging him back in to this?
I don't think there's any wrinkles. I think it's pretty clear for everybody what we're trying to do, and Ricky makes us a better team. He's got qualities that very few, if anyone else in this league has. Our goal is to try to find Ricky in positions that he can really turn the game, and we want to be structurally a little sound. It's something that we talked about coming out of the first half of the season. Of here are the moments when we're really good, and here are the moments when we want to be better. No team wants to be overly dependent on one player, so we've got to make sure that the game continues to spread around. But his qualities are unmatched, in many ways across our league. So I look forward to getting him back in, because I think the group is in a nice rhythm and has found again the things that we had at points in the first half of the season, and now I believe he has the ability to take us to another level when he gets reintegrated back in the group. So I'm looking forward to him getting healthy. He'll be ready by next week to be involved. So he's ready to get on the field and start going. So we look forward to that. And
we'll wrap with Damian Calhoun.
Hey Greg, can we just get your thoughts on Edwin Cirillo's performance this season? Just how he's filled in for Gaston throughout this whole season.
Yeah, I thought with Edwin at the start of the season when Gaston was injured, he went through preseason. He was really strong. He had the first 3 to 4 games. I thought he was really strong. We worked on integrating Gaston because we knew there was going to need to be, over the course of the season, some rotation in our midfield, and wanted to keep all of those guys going. I think when we started to rotate, I think he lost a little bit of his rhythm, and now that he's playing again consistently, I think he's found it back again. His defensive reading, the speed at which he covers, his interceptions and breaking up plays is important for us. And he's a guy that never complicates the game. He's always wants the game moving pretty fast, which also helps the team to find a rhythm inside of there. So I think, in his moments, especially when he's had a little run of games, I think he's been really good. I think it's when it was a little stop and start, I felt like he lost a little bit of his rhythm, and now we're back and flowing again, it's been nice. It's really important, and he's had to run all 3 of these games and really dig down and do the work, and he did it this week, and it was fantastic. I mean, it was a huge effort for him to be in the middle of the midfield for 3 games like this is not easy.
All right, thanks for your time, Greg.
Okay, thanks everyone.